Okay, so before we start with this one, we are going to start with a 10 1-minute poses. I'm just going to scoot to the next one here, and then we're going to do here, stop. Here we are. All right, let's get going. Here, where? There we go. So we're going to start. So go ahead and start with your 10 1-minutes. I'm going to get all my remaining.
Oh, I don't even have a notepad here in it. Let me grab I might do this.
Okay. I'm just grabbing printer paper. Well, this would be an interesting one.
I hate those with fabrics.
Oh,
Don't mind me. I'm just saying.
I was just thinking if I felt the same way about it. I don't know. In some ways, I kind of like these darkly lit ones.
Yeah, but they're beautiful as pictures, but not as quick sketches.
When you have a minute, it's a little tricky. But I don't know. Sometimes they're like I've drawn this one and it's quite fun to draw, but you need more that it helps to have more than 1 minute.
Yeah.
But I mean
Is that the natural butt?
seems to be. Talk about foreshortening. That's a fantastic example of that. We will deal with that type of issue at some point in the next couple of weeks.
Who is still in this class of the old timers?
Nobody you know.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Oops.
I'm in the middle of one. Yeah. Also, foreshortening, looking at how that elbow is coming out. Foreshortening the way this leg is coming towards us. Interesting. It's kind of everywhere. Ooh, that's a nice one.
Oh shit. Well,
How many is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this is the last one. Oop. All right. Ah,
Hi, email.
what happened? Sorry.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You saw I had sent you one there.
Charlotte, sorry about that. Yes, I did. Look
That's
at that
okay.
class. So Diana, who does not know Charlotte or Kabir, this is Diana. She's in LA.
Hello.
Charlotte, yeah, Kabir is in Baltimore, right? Maryland?
Yeah.
And Charlotte's in Portland with me, and in fact, just finished a meeting with me.
And you two are non-journalists?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're non-journalist. Yeah, no, there's not, that's not happening in this class. No journalists.
Wow.
Yeah. So, all right. So guys, I know I promised you that crazy yanked photo of the guy with the legs coming towards us. We're gonna have to save that for next week because I couldn't get it printed. But I did manage to get quite a beautiful pose, which is stunning for which is stunning for charcoal, the charcoal project. So let's pop this up so you can see it. I've sent it across the thread. I'm using this just to these things to kind of fold up. This is a really beautiful piece. And all these darks and lights. So I'm going to start by marking the kind of top and bottom of her head. Probably actually her actual skull is about here, and the hair kind of flies up above, because this is what we can see. Here is the top and bottom of her head. So my question to you is, if we use this measurement, how many heads down is she? Does everybody know how to check this?
Yep.
Okay.
4.5, maybe
How many?
4.5.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4.
Yeah, I got about 4.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. For those of you who may not know, I'm just going to pop myself up here for a second. It's a little bit hard to show this via Zoom, but when I'm checking, I'm looking at the screen and I'm holding my pencil out straight. So I'll do it on myself so you can see. If I want to find out how many heads down I am, I'm holding my arm straight and lining up the top of the pencil with the top of my head, and the bottom of my pencil is my thumb is here. Then I have to keep my hand straight down to see that I am 2 heads, right?
Just want to change my water.
Like that. So when you're checking, your arm has got to be straight. Our tendency is to want to kind of pull it back as you're going down, like maybe start here and then come here. And that measurement won't work, because we need to keep our arm in the same plane so that the measurements stay consistent. Does that make sense? Does that feel kind of, okay, great. All right. So sometimes I have 3 cameras set up. I feel like you guys kind of get that. So I'm going to mark this. I'm going to mark 1, 2, 3, 4, almost exactly 4. Right, here's the bottom, here's the top. And then if I drop a plumb line down, right, like this, here is where everything is in, relation to kind of where her chin is, which is right there. Here's where everything falls. I think this is helpful always. And then, of course, we're going to sketch the envelope, as we are always doing. We're going to sketch the envelope of what is in foreshortening, what is coming towards us and what is coming away from us. So I don't know if you can see that, but these two sort of interact together. I guess you don't really need that line, but it's helpful actually to show how things relate. Is this easy to see? Here. There we go. That's number 1. And here's number 2. So when you're starting to, and then I can add the gesture in, right? So here's her gesture. There's the gesture. So let me take a picture of this mucked up copy. I do have one other so that you can really see it. Oh, I have a bored kitty. Oh, he's up on the, what the, hey.
I saw him in the background on the beams.
Right?
I was like, is he gonna jump on you or not? Let's wait and find out.
Do you have a cat, Kabir?
No, my brother does.
Oh, yeah.
I
All right,
thought- I thought that was required to have a cat when you're in these classes.
yeah, we like our pets for sure. All right, so there is the theme, and yes, and just so that you can see, here he is right now. Causing problems, bored.
I have a dog at my feet.
Here is here is my setup, and here he is trying to decide, do I jump down or do I knock the computer off of its screen?
Either one is fun.
Mhm. So, per usual, when we're starting with the charcoal, you don't have to start with the charcoal this way. Totally do this with a pencil, but if you feel like starting with the charcoal, remember, we're going to take a soft piece and really kind of having trouble over there, Diana?
No, I've just made a mistake in mixing my paint. Shit happens, right?
Yeah. That's darker.
But generally, yes, I have problem with this picture, but well, I'll work through it.
You'll work through it. Absolutely. Diana's working on a painting. You guys will see it in a little bit. So I've made this pretty dark. And then once again, instead of starting with my lights, starting with my charcoal, I'm going to actually start with my eraser. And of course, the first thing I'm going to do is decide the length of the head. Now, if you see here, in fact, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. I hope I have room. Might not have room. We'll see. These are not the same size. This one's bigger. It's not about doing like a one-to-one transmission, right? Where everything is exactly the same size. It's more about proportionally deciding. I just have enough room to make my figure this size. Is that you toning the picture first?
Yep, that's me.
I love that.
For me.
Here is my top. Here is my bottom. I'm going to actually darken down here so you can really see it. Some people really struggle with this mark making. If that's you, you don't have to worry so much about it. I mean, I get it. And then I'm going to drop a line straight down through these heads because we're going to follow this plumb line as we start to structure. In fact, if we want to, we can do the bottom section first. Two. So I can see that one, let's see, the top of this section, which is in front, goes across here like this, and then comes down a little bit below this head, and then comes over this way. Now, I don't know that I've actually made this wide enough. So at this point, I can actually check, right? How many heads? I put the head on its side to go wide. This is head one. It's like 1.5 heads. So I can come here and go, okay, this should be, here is head one. And then it should be about half a head, a little bit more than half a head. It should end about here. That's about right. And then it comes down, whoops, comes down more like this. And then like that. Let me see. I didn't bring this down. I'm going to re-sketch in that. I love this about charcoal, how quick and easy it is to shift things up. So I can come over here. I can kind of line this up. Everybody's meowing today. Can you guys hear that? Meow, 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 meow. What wants?
It didn't.
So here's my front section. And then my back section kind of springs up off the top of that. So this line comes down here. And then it goes up until I get to about here. And then it comes in. And then it's really a straight shot down here. The envelope is so helpful. I don't understand. People tend to resist it, and I've never been able to figure out why. I'm like, this makes your life like 100 million times easier. I was noticing as I was bringing this down through here, the relationship of where the hand sits in connection to where the knees are. It like just automatically, if you sketch it right, shows you how things are related to each other. If I want to, I can check this against this. Let's see, 1, 2, it's about 1 head wide. Oh, I went too wide. Let me try that again. 1. Oh yeah, look at that. So let's see. So this is 1 head wide. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this, but I had the legs come too far out. I can actually see that when I come to here and come over here, that this is the outside edge of my envelope. When I come here and come over here, I have my outside envelope well to the right. So I'm adjusting. This is where the hand, so easy also to go too big, and the legs they come in a little bit more like that. So I just made that adjustment. So go ahead and send that in. If you want me to take a look at that, I am very happy to take a look at this. And Charlotte, I hope you don't mind. I'm just registering you for class, and because it sends you the email, and if for some reason you don't show up, that's totally fine. I can go back end and like fix it. It's easy for me to add or subtract classes, but it's easier for both of us, I feel like, if you get the email that reminds you and has the link and all that stuff in it.
Yeah, that's good. And I thought I thought I registered for all of them, but maybe I didn't.
No, you have to register for each one.
Oh,
Which is a pain in the butt. So if you don't want to do that, you don't have to do that.
I will try to remember.
Don't even bother.
Okay.
I can do that for you too, Kabir. If you want me to register you, I can do it.
It's fine. It helps me, reminds me to like, I have to do it.
Exactly. Exactly. So for some people it helps, for other people to do it themselves. I have some people who are just like, I can't interact with this website at all. Doesn't make any sense to me. I can't do it. And I'll be right back, you guys. Go ahead and keep going on that. Fabulous. We will definitely do a couple more foreshortened poses, and then we're going to talk about anatomy. And then we're going to talk about, we're going to do hands, and then we're going to do feet. And then I think we're going to hire a model. So you will work from a live model. You have a whole class for that. I'll make sure everybody's here for that one.
It's weird using charcoal as an eraser.
Isn't it great though? Like I feel with pencil, you never really get rid of your lines.
Dude,
But
it's
with
charcoal
pen-
you do.
It's so soft, right? It has this
Yeah.
kind of softness. Some people like it, some people don't.
I'm finding it very interesting, let's say.
It's interesting, right? Like it does a different thing. It also focuses you on the lights as well as the darks, right? When you're working with pencil, it's easy to get focused on the darks and not really think about the lights. Okay. And actually, while we're here, for me, when I learned to draw, I really struggled with the pencil. And it wasn't until I got charcoal in my hand that I felt like, oh, okay, I can do this. I can totally do this. And in fact, I had this sort of amazing experience with the teacher where I just thought I was like the worst drawer in class. And he asked me, I came over like on my first figure drawing class, just prepared for him to eviscerate me. And instead he just said, I see a woman on a chair. And I was like, that's what I was trying to draw. And in fact, I still have that drawing. Would you guys like to see it?
Yeah.
It's charcoal drawing. And I did it using charcoal. And I was like, this is it for me. I can figure it out from here. If I can find it. It's here somewhere. I'll find it and I'll take a picture and I'll send it to you. I kept the drawing, which I made almost 18 years ago, because I was like, this is the first time I ever felt like I could draw something. It's not all that, but like when you think about the breakthrough,
Yeah.
it was a breakthrough moment.
Can I see if I got the envelope right?
Let me see. Yes. No, where are you? Hang on, I'm just calling it up. Oh, I see. And Charlotte, you sent yours as well. Okay, let me look at yours, Kabir, and then I'll, so 1, 2, 4. That looks pretty good. Yeah, Kabir, looks great. It looks great. You're in good shape.
How do you get thinner lines from the eraser?
I think you might want to come out a little bit farther here, but let me check actually. Your judging distance, Kabir, is good. No, you don't have to come out. I need to come in. Here we go. Charlotte, I'm going to take a look at yours too. And you can see that I've added the gesture in because now you've got to measure it for the head and then you can start really erasing. Charlotte, I'm going to take a look at yours just really quickly, although I'm sure it's good. So
That line on the left there is the middle of her arm.
yep, absolutely. The line on the left is the middle of her arm.
Yeah.
And here
On mine, yeah.
on yours. Here. Wait.
On the left.
On the left. This is the middle of her arm. Oh, got it. So you need to extend it out a little bit farther.
Right.
Yep, you got it. Actually, I think it's okay.
Is it?
Actually, it's in the right place. So that shouldn't be the middle of her arm. Maybe scooch it just a teeny bit to the left, but not too far.
Okay.
I do think she's a little far on this side.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, you made this. Let me check here. You made. Oh, and he does. The leg does not go below head 4. So
Oh, oops.
right. So this needs. So my 4th head. Here. Just to show you, and let me mark this in charcoal because it's a little easier to see. Okay, so here's head 1, head 2, head 3, head 4. My feet don't go below this line.
Right.
And you see that you've got yours bending, unless
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. Yep, you're busting out of your envelope.
Always do.
Always do. It's a tempting thing to do.
How do you get
Always.
those sharp, thin lines with the eraser?
What's that?
How do you get those sharp, thin lines with the eraser? Mine are getting like really fat and like kind of blurred.
Are you using your kneaded eraser?
Yeah.
Use the corner of it, or you can even stretch it out and make it kind of pointy. See? You can even make it, you can make it like Play-Doh. Yeah, what is the thing that they used to use? Silly putty. Remember, did you ever use that? Where you would take a print off using this kind of stretchy material. So you can pull it so you find a part that hasn't been used as much. Mine are actually kind of really old, so they're a little bit more resistant. And this one, for some reason, is really hard, so it doesn't want to stretch, it just breaks.
Don't you use your electrical razor?
Not with this.
Okay.
With this, we're using a kneaded eraser. An electric eraser will, my eraser is broken, my electric eraser is broken, so I have to get a new one. An electric eraser will give you a neat, soft point. I'll try to have one of these next time to show you guys how it goes. And then I'm going to I'm starting actually with the negative space. kind of shape her. Yeah, it's actually super helpful to start with the spaces that are not her. It very often is that way. Her knees are light. I like to add these lights in, they help me. For some people, they're confusing. So don't do this if it's like confusing to you. You can at any point go in and start working with your, you know what I mean? Your dark, your sharp edges here of your charcoal. But I find it really nice to kind of go in and softly just move around. Like that's kind of the edge of her face. And then she's got these kind of lovely dark curls everywhere. Right, I can come in here. I'm like, let's see, so over here, let me see if I can come here and see how far that breast is. It's like a little bit more than halfway over here. I can see that the outside edge of her breast is up here, and that's important because there's this light on this side that really comes all the way up to her shoulder. I think what kind of wigs people out is that we're breaking things down in all these different combinations. But I mean, look, she's already coming together, like with the eraser, she's already coming together. Excuse me. And then once I have the lights in, I start adding in the darker. I can check things at any point, like how wide is it between here and here? Almost one space. Yeah, that's pretty good. Maybe come in just a little bit more. You'll find there's big differences in like I can see that her the breast that's on our left is kind of bisected by the plumb line, and also exactly at the bottom of head 2.
Oh,
Yeah. That's right, Dana. You're never in these classes, are you? You're never
no,
here.
I'm always working, but I got a lot done. I'm sort of walking between my painting and work right now. So
Good for you.
I sent you an update, and I'm just adjusting like the layout right now.
Okay, let me take a stop and take a look. I like how she's already, and I am going to do one thing here because I want her to come together. I am going to do one thing here, which is to take eraser and kind of erase around the edge of her where she's in the window. That really helps. See how just doing that really pushed the figure? I'm not exactly done, but it made her come out a little bit more. And obviously she's a little darker than that because her face is in shadow. So I kind of exaggerated the way. It's just amazing to me how much you can get done so quickly. And the Kabir, the softness that you're observing with charcoal, it's just like it like kind of almost unintentionally, just the medium creates an element of softness in the drawing. Right, let me take a look, Diana.
I'm reducing the size of the oranges right now. They are too big for this tree. They're not in.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
This is looking really compelling. I think you're solving it very well. It's making me think of Chagall. So you should look at some Chagall pieces and see how he handles trees. It has a kind of Chagall-y look to it. I think it's good.
thank you.
Nice, very nice.
It's weird, but that's okay.
It's weird, but that's okay. Yes. Charlotte and Kabir, for those, if you don't know this, I do offer we have a certain number of companies that offer these classes for free to their client, to their employees. So some people might jump into class every day, but they might take a project they're working on from a painting class they did on Sunday into this class, because why not? It's not
Yeah.
just, it's kind of
That's what I'm
interesting.
doing.
It's kind of like interesting to look at it.
Great.
Well, yeah, it's like really, it's kind of fun. So you might see, I mean, you know, if you can come all the time.
I jump into all classes at one time, but it's been a long time since I was in this class.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a long time since we've seen you on Thursday nights.
Yep. I just needed a little bit more today.
You see how I'm darkening the arm here and how that's really helping solidify the hand, but there's also definitely a light shape in here I didn't use. Now I'm kind of skipping to the dark tones. So I'm moving around, looking for the darkest areas. And what happens when you do that is that the midtones kind of, the paper, which is kind of a dark midtone, it tends to kind of resolve itself. And at some point, you may want to look at this one. Amazing how quickly.
Kind of like carving it out.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's like, it's exactly, yeah. I imagine this is how sculptors think. It's kind of an opposite process. But I like it because it reveals itself in this very elegant kind of way. And really, we're not thinking so much about the component parts as we are about kind of how the lights and the darks fit together.
No, sunshine.
Make sure you've got that knee, the leg extending. Even though these legs are, the sort of front of the legs are coming towards us. And the knees are definitely coming towards us. Let's see, how do I want to put words on this? Always and what's going on. Let me get a little further and it'll be easier. It's so hard to explain this. I mean, it's a practical, logical process. There's no question about it. Although her leg is, the top of her leg is kind of coming towards us, it's also at an angle, which means that this is almost straight. So you're going to be tempted to want to draw it angled down, but it is not really angled down. It's really straight across. In fact, it's also kind of rising up a little bit. And also notice that the knee comes out beyond her hip. I know the effect of this is just so stunning, isn't it? It's ridiculous how beautiful these drawings always look. So this is also a way of going to say, like, the materials we use help us to convey different moods and emotions. Right, the mark making itself has a kind of, it's different. It creates its own emotional. And I like the glow of this window. I'm adding that in. I'm noticing that the kind of arm on the left kind of loses, has a sort of a lost edge. And crazy. I think this is magic. I honestly am like, how is it possible that in what, half an hour, you can get this much depth? Yeah, in fact, Kabir, now that you said this, I was just thinking this morning, I was talking to students about, even though we are working on a flat two-dimensional surface, we're not technically carving things. If you think, we need to think about it the way somebody who is carving or building something would, right? So you start with, if you've got a piece of granite, you don't start by trying to carve out the eye of something. You start by kind of chopping out the biggest shape, right? And then chiseling out the biggest shape. And then from there, looking at the smaller shapes, the eyes are probably the last thing you do. If you're building a table, you don't start by carving an ornate leg. You chop 4 pieces of wood the same size that are going to be the legs, and then you chop a piece of flat wood on top that fits on those 4 legs before you start doing any detail. So that's kind of how we work with drawing too. But it's not instinctual. What's instinctual is instead to kind of focus on one little detail and build outward. But that doesn't really get you very far. It can help you with kind of simple subjects, but once you you no longer understand what's happening on perspective wise, you're kind of out of luck, right? It really doesn't, it's just not helpful. Once you have to kind of suspend disbelief of what is actually happening on the paper versus what you think is happening. So, yeah, I don't know why it doesn't feel more normalized, but it's looking really good, you guys. Isn't it?
Liking charcoal. It's like using my fingers to soften things, to
Yeah.
get different tones and stuff like that.
Isn't it wonderful?
It's
Actually, okay. Oh, good. You just sent something in. Exactly. I know it's a completely different way of thinking about it, isn't it? It's
I'm actively using my hands to rub stuff in and stuff like that.
yeah. It's a more full body experience. Exactly.
More intimate way of drawing, actually.
It is, isn't it? It's very absorbing and it's very beautiful. Like the marks are very beautiful. Eventually, I'm going to take you guys to ink, not this quarter, probably in the summer. And wait till you see ink figure drawing is crazy. It's just here. I'll show
I
you.
really want to do ink.
Oh my God. Watch
You know, I'll like that.
Wow.
You know, I'll like that, Leah.
Awesome. Look at this. Like, look at these. Aren't those gorgeous? So the way I like to work with ink, Diana, here she is. I did do her. This is a 15-minute drawing using ink on that.
Can I get you mine? I know where I have mine. I'll get mine.
Send it over. Yes, absolutely. Now, we do ink a little differently here. We work,
I can just hold it up.
they're looking at they're looking at the source right now. So if you
Oh,
look-
okay.
Yeah. So the ink that we use is, this ink or Higgins ink, and we use a brush and a bamboo pen. They're fantastic. Talk about like a feeling of it's just, and there's a kind of level of commitment that happens with ink that you're really forced into, which I love. So we'll get you used to charcoal. We'll be working with charcoal for a while, but we'll move you over to ink. And it's its own beautiful mark making. I mean, it's just astonishing. Yeah, send it over, Diana.
Oh, then I have to take a photo. Where is my?
I'm glad I have this. My printer sometimes my printer doesn't want to work for me. I don't know why. It fights me. It's like, no,
You have electronic ghosts in your house.
well, it must be Mercury retrograde or something. I don't know what is going on. So many problems today.
This is a very sketchy painting that I did of that subject.
So Diana will send over the painting that she did, you guys. And if you want to, we can also go to painting. I've never taught figure painting. I'd actually think it would be amazing. I'm always looking for new ways to explore.
There you go.
it.
Very sketchy painting. But it is a beautiful composition.
Isn't it? Even with the sort of awkwardness of
Yeah.
the show, it works out very nicely. I agree.
Yeah, take a look and tell me what I should do next.
Okay. Actually, I'm going to remove the spotlight for a second. I do want you guys to hold yours up. Hold them up and let's see wherever you're at. Hold it up, Kabir, and let me see. Helps to like look at it. Ooh, okay. So I think I would like you to send it across the thread. The arm looks a little bit, now you want to come across and use, here, I'm going to show you a couple of things. You want to soften, you want to actually add some structure lines in using the edge. Can you see how I'm doing this with like the arm? Just to kind of construct that a little bit more here. And then she's really like kind of in the dark over here. In the light here. So I think, Kabir, you're going to want to work on strengthening, now that you've got the soft, lights and darks in, look at the areas where you can add a line, a hard edge. If you send it over to me, I can show you some areas specifically.
I think I already sent it.
Okay, let me see. Actually, I'm going to turn this off for just a second so I can look at it and maybe sketch on it. Here, hold on. Sorry, coming off here. Here, where we go. Oh, it looks good. All right. So a couple of things. She is actually, I think you've got the chest up too high. If you look here, so here, hey, I think I can sketch some things. There we go. Edit. This is what I want to do. All right. So a couple of things. One is that her breast is you have her like kind of exactly equal on both sides with her breast, but really the breast on this side is kind of in farther. So I'm doing some very crude sketching. And there's not so much space. All right, this is super crude sketching. So I'm gonna send it to you and then I'm gonna point what I really mean. Oh yeah, that's looking great, Diana. Here, let me pop up the screen again so I can show you what I mean. Zoom, where the heck are you? There, okay. So here, you've kind of brought the edge of her out here. Right, so that she'll be equal here on this side and on this side. In fact, she's much closer, right? The breast is not really cut in half here. It's more like 1/3, 2/3. And this one is, so the body is more on this side than it is kind of half and half, which makes me think that your arm is probably sticking out too far. So the other thing to check is like, how far out does the arm go here at the elbow, at the bottom of head 2? It's about this much. Almost one head. So you want to check and see once you drop your plumb line, right? I'll drop my plumb line back down here. Right, make sure that this edge, 1, 2, here's the second edge, that this edge is like not bigger than one head. It shouldn't be wider than one head across. And this should be scooted in. And then you can use your eraser, but you can also use the edge of your charcoal.
So bring her arm in and reduce her chest size.
Yeah. Well, no, you've got you have her breast complete in the wrong place. Can you see how it's not really, you have done this. I'm going to sketch it out here so you can really see it. You've done this. Right? You've done like this, and then I'm exaggerating.
Yeah.
But I'm showing you, right? She isn't this far out. This is not
Yeah.
halfway through, right? Mostly her body on this side is really close to the plumb line.
Okay.
Right? So yeah, scoot this in, and then you'll see when you get this, and then notice that also that diagonal up. So you've tried to make these the same size, they really aren't. And you've tried to
Okay.
kind of line them up, right? But they really aren't. She's twisted. She's a little bit twisted here. And I'm going to sketch that in here just so that you guys can see it. This breast is bigger. This one is a little bit smaller. See the shape? The difference in shape? Yeah. And then once you bring this to the right place, you'll see that this arm, yes. And so this arm probably is about one head wide, a little bit less than one head wide from here to here. Once you get those parameters back in, and it's very easy to like, you'll notice you didn't go very far, but it still feels like far. It looks far, like 1 millimeter just appears, is the difference between somebody looking fat and slender, right? Of the things being in the right place or not. So it's just easy to do. So don't worry about that. Good job. Good job. Yeah. Third. Right. And so if you want me to take a look at yours, go ahead and send it over. Yeah, Diana, that's right. I totally forgot you did that to me. Looks good.
Yeah. I think it was just in the beginning when I started painting again.
That's right, like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Yep.
He's painting till 8.
What's that? I'm adding in charcoal pencil lines just to see how they look. I don't like them. Getting rid of them.
I sent mine over to Leah.
Let me take a look. I might take a quick, well, I like to take a quick gander just to make sure. Let's see. Yes, okay. Hey. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, coming along. Very nice, Charlotte. Are you
Thank you.
busting above as well? You're busting above her head as well. So remember, the top here is at, this is the top of her head. It doesn't come up over.
I can't see what you're doing anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry. So it looks beautiful. You're busting out at the top now. Let me.
Oh, that's her hair though. That not her head.
But when I did the measurement, I included the top of her hair. I'll show you again. Here, hold on. Let me get back on here and I'll show you. Now, zoom, where are you? My phone like rebooted and did all these stupid things, and now it's impossible to find anything. You're right, Diana. I'm having all kinds of problems. So when you see this is the top and the bottom of the head, there is no hair coming out.
Oh, I thought you started like
I
in her
didn't.
crown.
I actually started here to here, which is why that is such a big size. I didn't.
Okay.
I thought the skull would be. I started here. So you're gonna,
Okay.
which means you might have to bring everything down a titch. Let me look. That I should be able to look at here on here. Hold on. Yeah, that is the normal way, but because what we could see is really the top of her head. Here, hold on. Yeah, come on, download. Okay. Well, the measurements look pretty good. Also, her feet are much bigger.
Yeah, I'm working on her feet right now. I can see that they're,
So the
they're
foot,
wrong.
believe it or not, the foot is, if we measure it, I think your measurements are okay, actually. I think everything right places. I think you're good. I think you're in good shape. The foot is almost the size of the head
Okay.
here. I haven't even really dealt with that yet. So I can.
Oh yeah. Wow, it is.
Yeah, feet and hands are always way bigger. And this is just something to tell yourself. Feet and hands are huge. So feet and hands are always way, particularly the foot that's closest to us is way bigger.
Right.
It's just big. They're just so big. Also, we'll talk about anatomy generally first, and then we'll use that as an introduction to go into feet. hands and feet because it's good to know about bones and how they and muscles and how they sort of affect the shapes that we see.
Right.
I really like how you got this shadow over here. That's super. This one here on the arm, very nice.
It helps a lot.
Sometimes you'll find that like, yeah, and now you did it a lot. I'm gonna go back to this because I think it's a little easier to see. If you can kind of see what the hand is doing. I think the confusing thing for people is there's two things happening, and one is shapes change when you're translating like 2 dimensions to 3 or 3 dimensions to 2. They change. And shapes change when people turn away from us, as well as when they're turning towards us. So it's just confusing. Sometimes it kind of helps to know the rules and where things are. So even if you can't see the thing you're drawing, you still know that it's there. I'm
Yeah.
also going to check, I feel like, now I'm gonna double check this. The other thing I'm gonna check, Charlotte, is the width from here to here. It's gonna be the same as about 1.5 heads. So let's see. Here and then. Yep, that's a good shape. This one's a good one. I
Okay,
found
good.
it a little tricky to get right.
Ah, my foot has gone beyond the 4th line now.
Pull it all back up, reel it in.
Yeah.
It's just easy to do that. It's so easy. I had a painting teacher once who I thought really helped me when she said, it's just so easy to get things just a little bit off, and then all of a sudden it looks enormous. Little tiny shifts can make an enormous difference.
Oh no, I'm right. When I use the new line I made for the head,
Oh, there
now
you
it's in 4.
go. All right. Yay. We love that.
Woohoo!
Love that.
Double check, but I think that's right.
This is so much fun.
It's fun, isn't it? Isn't it great?
I'm having a blast right now.
Yeah.
Yay.
Oh my God, I love hearing that. That is what we do this for. And guess what, Kabir? For the rest of your life, it can be this way. One never gets too good at it, and you never
Yeah.
get, like, the challenges are kind of always there. So it's like you've now found something to keep you busy and keep your mind engaged. Ugh, it's so much fun. It's really great. And that's why I kind of never stop my classes. My classes are always happening. I mean, I basically teach all year because I'm like, yeah, I don't really see a stopping point. Maybe it's a little obsessive, but like, I'm like, to me, we could just keep doing this. Why do this for 10 weeks when we could do this, kind of indefinitely?
Yeah.
Just sort of focusing on different things. It's like really fun. A lot to learn. Oh my God, I can't wait to take you guys to ink. Now you got me really excited.
You got us excited.
Yeah, it's really great. It's like crazy. Now I'm having a problem with her arm, so let me see what I'm doing now. I miss toothpick. So I think that's part of it. It's just too far out. I keep drifting her arm up way farther out than it has to be. There we go. That's my map. No, that still looks kind of stupid. Okay. How do I fix that? Yeah, there we go. So I can bring it in. Okay. I think one of the things we learn about drawing and painting as you switch materials is to let the materials do the heavy lifting, right? In what way can we, in what way are the materials themselves, creating the effect that we want? And then you don't have to work, you don't feel so like you have to work so much, right, to get the effect you're looking for. You're like, okay, I know if I just use this material, this will happen. Take a picture of mine as well, so I'm going to remove this for just a second. Here's mine. All right, incarnation. I'm still struggling a little bit with the feet. And you'll also notice some days I'm better, I'm more on than others. I guess it's not really fair because hold on. There. I have done this subject before, so I have a little bit of an advantage over you because I've done it before. But most of the time I try to pick subjects that I haven't done because I want you to see, like, some days I kind of make mistakes. Like I have a kind, like I mean, all days I make mistakes. I want you to see the process in its mistake making form. So I'm still kind of struggling a little bit with the arm here. I don't quite think I have the shape of the torso right. But I thought I would send it over so you can see. I'm like also kind of struggling to make things work because then I'll be like, oh yeah, I have that problem too. I made her too wide here at this point. Made my lines too strong. I realized that I would go through a demo and make so many mistakes and students wouldn't catch it because I would just fix them. So now I try to like slow it down so you can really see. I need to work on that. Because that's what art is. It's like making a lot of mistakes and then fixing them.
Yes.
It's like your best guess on the paper and then going, oh no, wait, that's not right. It's way over here. Oh, fun. Charlotte, I'm popping you up for a second because I really like seeing. We can watch Charlotte working here. Oh, that's right. And look at Charlotte. This is great to see because she's working. Don't mind us, just keep going. She's working big, right? So you see how she's like kind of double to the size, which is a really good way to work. The only reason I don't work bigger is that I can't really fit it under my cell phone camera. But
Yeah.
she's basically doubled the size of this. Actually, quadrupled. You pretty much quadrupled.
No, because here's the photo.
Yeah.
Well, I guess depending on what you're looking at, it's maybe double of my original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice. Also, it's helpful because you can kind of get some of those things. Don't mind me. We were just peeping.
Well, that's why it's up.
Well, note how each of you uses it differently. Uses the material differently. That's also kind of exciting. Even though we're using the same technique and we're working on the same piece, these don't look distinct. They have their own distinct personality, they have their own distinct personalities, I think is really how to put it. That's voice. And you can't really train that.
Oh.
It just is there. And you'll see it as you kind of go along. I want to do at least one really wonky perspective piece.
I think my left shoulder's too big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Take a
think-
look.
You think yours are, or do you think? Oh. Here, hold on. Let me take a look. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little hard to see where they start and end.
Yeah.
Here, let me take a look. Yeah. Oh, yeah. On this side, definitely.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's, so I don't know if you noticed, I erased and erased and erased and erased here. So don't forget to refine. Also, the head is a little too small. So it looks good though, Kabir. It looks really good. So remember, return to your envelope, right? So once again, I'm going to sketch in my plumb line. And then I'm doing my envelope. What happened is you kind of busted outside. So here's my envelope. And like, here is the farthest to the left point. And it's got to be from the plumb line So the shoulder's gotta be, it's basically the size of the head.
Okay, I see where it should be. Okay.
There, so that's like, but it's easy to do that. It's just, I have been struggling with this as well. I kept creeping it out. One of the things I found is helpful is to just kind of make the edge of the light edge of the arm disappear into the light background. We call that a lost edge. It kind of helps. Good job on the breast though. You got that. You got it. And I think the legs are looking, yeah, it's looking good. And then the shape of this head, you've got kind of here, you've kind of ended that here. Right? So you can see that's like, part of the reason the shoulder is too big is that we don't have enough of the hair. So the hair shape is really, it takes a lot of space. In fact, I'm going to sketch it here. That's how big the head is. That's how much space the head shape takes. It actually comes down here and out there, which one head. Here goes all the way out. Looks good though. It looks really pretty. I mean, it's not.
I think I'm giving up for today.
You want to hold up where you're at?
Yeah, I can hold it up. I haven't decided how to solve this problem. It's so darn big. Can you see it?
It's looking great. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
It's amazing.
I think you're
It
gonna
is.
love this painting at the end. I know you're hating it right now, but I think it's coming along nicely.
Okay, thank you.
I swear. I swear.
Okay.
Yes, you're gonna love it. Diana, thank you. And thank you for stepping up this morning when I was having my technical difficulties.
Oh, that was fine.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. See you soon.
Good
Bye.
meeting you guys.
Nice
See
to
you
meet
next
you.
time. Bye.
Bye.
For the art at work people, I literally, for the companies, there are some people who come to every class. Except for this one, This one, most people can't make it, but every other class, you'll see a lot of them, repeat customers.
Sometimes life drawing can be, or figure drawing can be more intimidating than painting.
Yeah, and it's also a timing thing. Like,
True.
kind of like for some reason, the two, like the LA Press Club is in, the West Coast, so they tend to pick up more classes. But we've sort of over the last 5 years lost our New York contingents. I don't know really
Uh,
of the two companies. They're just doing different stuff now. But I worked with them for many years, so it's possible a lot of them will come on the weekends because there's 3 weekend classes. And yeah, New York, we've just kind of lost on the weekdays. I don't know why. But it might just be they had enough lessons. So
Possibly.
yeah. Seems crazy to me, but are you enjoying working? Here, I'm going to turn off there's no reason to have it recording anymore. This on the okay, go ahead. Everybody hold your drawings up so we can see them one more time. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We know what we're doing.
I'm pretty happy with it.
So
I'm
satisfying.
extremely happy with mine.
Isn't it wonderful?
Actually,
Can you even believe you did it? You're going to be staring at that all week. So a couple.
Yeah.
I stopped caring about cleanliness a long time ago.
Yeah. So
I need
this, huh?
I need to clean my entire table now.
Yes, that's it. He's been baptized with charcoal. I have to say baptized with charcoal. So 1 or 2 things that I wanted to show you before we go. Obviously, this is fairly messy. So if you want to fix your drawing, you can use this spray fix. It will change it. You can see it darkens the darks, which can sometimes actually help. Best to do outside, but you can get the spray fix, and then after you fix it, wait about 5 minutes and it will it won't bleed like that. So you can kind of put it up and not worry about somebody bumping into it or being messy. I can send this across the thread. But also the idea to think about is that this is, I think what charcoal and this method really does is move us into this entirely different way of thinking about the figure. We stop thinking about contour lines. We think more about puzzle pieces of light and dark. And that's how, and right, that's the way of thinking. And then the mark making is just so magical. So I would love it for both of you to send in, you can work on this as long as you like, but when you think you've got it done, please send in a finished picture. I might use this for the newsletter if you don't mind, and maybe Instagram.
Please go ahead.
Hey, send it over, send it over. Anyway, I'm delighted you like it as much as I do. Kabir, I had a total in a figure drawing class when I used charcoal for the first time. It blew my mind. It absolutely blew my mind. I was like, you can construct a drawing like this.
I really like pencil, but this is just like something else.
It's so different. It gets you into a totally different headspace, which I love. Charlotte, I can see you love this medium.
I do. I've always loved charcoal. I had a hard time getting into color, and still, in fact, I still have a hard time with color because I love this so much.
So much. Yeah, well, like redness with perfection, right?
I'm actually self-teaching myself how to use alcohol markers to color stuff.
I
Nice.
love. Oh my God, this is fabulous. This is what I want you guys to do. Experiment, play around. All right, we'll go back to another wacky foreshortening picture next week. Thanks so
Awesome.
much, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Great
Bye-bye.
job.